Last time on the Platinum Mask, having barely survived the crippling defeat of the Lord's Alliance armies at the Battle of Iron Pass, a small group of stragglers made their way south in an attempt to escape the vanguard of the invading army. With the onset of an early winter diminishing their numbers further still, our party was forced to take shelter in Ellsdale, an isolated village in the foothills of Mount Hotno. It was soon discovered that Ellsdale was overrun with a nefarious rot, which poisoned the surrounding woodland and corrupted the minds of those who dwelt in the village. At the center of this corruption sits a shadowy inner circle with infernal ties, whose potential for devilry threatened to consume the entire nation. In hopes of vanquishing this simmering evil from the land, our party sought the aid of a local mystic, who posthumously directed them to return to the Great Hall in Ellsdale and venture beneath to destroy the rot at its source. Fatigued from hours of hard riding and still recovering from the injuries of a recent conflict, the party returns to Ellsdale only to find the caverns beneath the town far more insidious than they had ever imagined, and as such retreat in order to recoup for the fight ahead. But there was no rest to be had, for in their absence the town had been taken over by another surviving company from the battle for Iron Pass. The infamous White Hawk mercenary company, led by Dretch Fulkner, now lord themselves over the infected villages, taking what they will and opposing all who stand in their way. The very presence of the White Hawks chills Bernard Witchkick and August Barrow right to the core, for both have in the past been subjected to untold torment at the hands of these nefarious sellswords. Join us now as we launch into the final climactic episode of The Platinum Mask. You are standing in the snow at the side entrance to the Great Hall. And inside, great feasting. All of the people in the village are rushing around trying to pander to the needs of the mercenaries. They're getting drinks together, they're getting food together, they're bringing them all in. The whole place is in a bluster. You are the last thing on their minds right now.
And we know these are the White...
These are the White Hawks, the White Hawk mercenary company. Yes. So even looking at them, pictures rush through your brain of the destroyed druids from the Order of the Spore, the Order of the Ashen Spore. They were torn apart, destroyed, and your one person, your would-be mentor, the one you knew from there, died but not without a fight, lying in a forest of spears, rising up through his torso, but around him lay roots and trees and animals and the torn apart bodies of mercenaries from the White Hawk mercenary company. Bernard, you yourself have harrowing memories of spending some time in their company after being rescued by these good mercenaries from the clutches of the democratic many-arrowed orc tribes. You were subjected to no shortage of ill will and kick you around. They'd sort of pressure you for your usefulness. But unlike the other halflings in the group, you couldn't hack it, and they just kept pushing you down and down and down until they could palm you off to someone else, which was the 3rd Daggerford Irregulars. You stand at the side door. Yeah.
What do you want to do? First of all, are you alright?
Well, these are bad people, right?
They're not nice.
No. Look, it's kind of up to you. We've got 2 choices here, and I'll sort of throw it out there. One, we can suck the salve and walk up to what's his name? Dretch. Walk up to Dretch and, I'll try and sort of use my relationship with him to, cop the worst of whatever beating's going to come and get you guys on the fast track. Yeah. But, you know, he's probably not the smartest tool in the shed and would probably see a good business opportunity in shipping that fungal poison out into the real world. So I reckon that's kind of why they're pretending to let them have their way. So the ways I see it is that we've got two problems now. And if we can get the two problems to solve each other, then we may have zero problems. But
That is one problem minus one problem is zero problems. That's some pretty solid maths.
Well, I know, I'm just the cook.
I think we both know you're more than a cook.
Well, I'm not a very good cook. Anyway. Let's just say then that we put it to a vote, but we need to make a decision and lock it in.
How
I've got some ideas if we turn them on each other, though.
How solid is this building look?
It's the foundations are solid stone, old dwarven construction. On top of that, it's a pretty heavy wattle and dowel build. It would, especially in this temperature, take a while to get going. If you want to set it on fire and smashing a hole in the wall, not so likely. You'd probably have an easier time getting yourself through the thatching on the roof than pushing through the thickness of this wall.
Yeah, Gus is just like, because I was not looking through the window, I was staring at the wall, but I had been using Buddy.
There is no window on that side of the building. The only person who's currently looking inside and relaying information to the rest of you is Bernard.
Oh, but I thought Buddy had taken a peek.
You sent Buddy in as an insect still?
No, it was. I thought there was a window that he had floated up.
Oh,
to.
He would have had to go around to the front of the building. That is possible. It's just under 120 feet away, that window. So, yeah.
Well, my concern is Gus is not looking great. He's just staring at the wall blankly. But I'm curious if this building would stand up to a minor earthquake.
Absolutely.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, dwarven construction, the foundations are way too solid.
That's why I don't like dwarves.
The buildings are too hard to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a village of mud brick houses run by pygmies any day.
Any day. Then that'll work with nature.
Alright, well,
My vote is turn them on each other. What do you vote?
I love your maths. I love your turning them on each other. I think that's a good way to do it. How do you propose we do it? Because that would be the next, that would be the crutch of this plan.
Well, I do know this way of doing bad things to people's mind. I wish I didn't know. There's some things you can't unlearn.
Yeah, but there
I
are
read the
also, there are, like, the line between good and evil is so arbitrary. It's so just movable and blurry, and, you know, I think don't be so hard on yourself, right? At the end of the day, we're doing a good thing. We're gonna get a good outcome. So don't worry about how we get there.
So I could cast Crown of Madness then. It would potentially make him at least one round attack the nearest person.
Okay. Would that make him hostile to us as well?
Well, I mean, if I can try and do it without him even knowing it's me, you know.
Would it be better to turn him on them or them on him? Do you know what I mean? So if we turn the zombie people, he's the closest person to him and attack him, would he then feel unsafe and then attack them back? And then we don't need the kind of Crown of Madness on him per se. Are you following? This is.
Yeah, look, I'll take any advice on this. Look, I shouldn't have said anything. If you don't mind, I'd like to take it back.
Well, I think we should keep it. Why don't we keep it on the table? What are other people?
What other options do we have? I don't know.
What are we feeling?
Well,
let's reach out.
I was thinking maybe we should start by making sure the Goobers are okay because not everyone in this town is a problem. And I know your line for good and evil is a little blurry right now, but there are some people in this town
I quite like
who are people and need help.
I do quite like the Coopers. They're good people.
Yeah. I wholeheartedly agree.
You shame me, sir.
Being on my list here, not having them murdered is quite high. So maybe not just throwing the town into an all-out war.
All right. So do we want to do a quick run around, get people out, or maybe we send them to the witch's hut as safe-ish?
The witch's rubble.
Oh yeah. Sorry, forgot that minor point.
I mean, it's safe.
We could send them out of town.
It's cold.
There's that thing on the outskirts of town. You remember that beast?
The shadow wolf
with the face.
Okay.
Speaking of which, we're kind of ignoring the...
Oh, and the hellhole.
Yeah, the hellhole.
Oh, the hellhole.
Several.
Yeah.
So, I'm really actually I'm actually kind of more interested. I was prepared to ignore the hellhole and the giant beast thing in lieu of the White Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm actually even more on board the ignoring the White Hawks in favour of the Coopers.
Still feel like the hellhole is a bigger issue than...
I mean, if we solve the issue of the hellhole, will we not also solve part of the issue of Whitehawks? Because the biggest the worst thing that could happen here is that the Whitehawks actually start distributing this stuff. But if we manage to get rid of it from the source, then that should be less of a problem.
The worst thing is that happens here is we get sandwiched between both problems at once.
For us.
And some of us aren't looking very good.
Perhaps Lynn was speaking about the greater good. Remember that thing that before...
Well, if we're
was a
dead,
bit
we can't help
blurry
make
for
the greater good, so,
There's three problems.
Hmm.
There's the bad fungus people, because not all fungus people are bad.
We can accept
True.
that.
Yep.
There is the Whitehawks,
Mm.
and they're all bad people. And then there is the
Well,
hellhole.
we're making the same mistake. Just the bad White Hawks.
That's true. Only the
I was once a White
Hawks-
Hawk, alright? So, just the bad ones.
You were never really a White Hawk.
Well,
I was dragged around them. And
You say what you want.
he identified as one of them for a
I was never
time.
one of them, but in the same way that I was dragged around by them, there's other people in that group right now that might be in the same predicament, for whom I have empathy. So, let's not kill them all, right?
So you
Just
guys
the bad
are-
White Hawks.
you guys
I
are-
don't think the plan was ever to kill them all. I don't think
Is
we
it the
proposed that.
Coopers?
Oh, no, that was my
Have a
plan. I'm
look.
sorry. Mike.
I think the
They
aim,
deal with everything.
I think the aim here is to find out what's happening with the Whitehawks and then address the greater fungal problem.
Do you have a unicorn horn?
I do.
Yes.
Isn't that the whole... didn't the lady in the forest tell us that was the whole solution to everything?
Not exactly.
Shouldn't you be standing at the front of this whole thing and
I was just taking charge then, but thanks.
No, I mean into the White Hawks.
Oh, into the Whitehawks.
The bit it purifies
But we
things.
could
It
purify.
doesn't. I don't know if it'll.
I have what,
change
9 more
line.
charges of purification?
It doesn't murder people.
Yeah, and although doesn't it?
it murders
Alright,
the...
It's not very
When
good.
we
It's not very good for
purified
fungus
them, didn't
creatures.
they die?
Well, if
yeah,
their, if their
wasn't that
organs
not
are
supposed to
mostly
happen?
fungus, then yes, they might die.
Can it be used on the hellhole?
Well-
I think we've already tried that.
No, I don't
did
think
not.
we can, I don't think it closes the hellhole.
Do you remember the bug houses that could fly?
Yeah, I remember the bug houses.
Large.
That's my last memory at this point. It's still in my head. That's right. The buzz is still happening, and it's hard to follow anything else that's happening.
They are.
We could
They
just...
look uglier than they sound.
Pretty
We could try... We could improvise, if no one's keen on a plan.
Well, how about this? I mean, they are likely to stay a couple of nights, maybe. We just get them all liquored up.
Ah, glad we found this place. Now we'll be safe for the whole winter. You need it.
So, we get them liquored up on the stamina potion, and then cleanse them.
No, I
Then we
think
wouldn't
cleansing kills them.
So I want you to make an intelligence test, medicine, if you like.
Medicine. Yep. Sorry. We're getting there. 20, unnatural.
By your deduction, the stamina potion makes the transformation from normal person to fungal human in about 12 hours.
Okay.
That's a single dose.
Okay.
That's from what you saw in the hall, Bernard. No one's being fed these stamina potions. They are just being fed the normal food. You are aware that it is a slower process based on monitoring your own infection over the period of time that you've been here, which is like a day or so. Maybe somewhere between 6 and 14 days if you're eating the tubers themselves. And from being in the kitchen, you know, Bernard, that they have been using them for condiments and sauces, and just cooking them up and serving them.
Oh yeah, living here means eating fungus and turning into a fungus person eventually.
It's just a matter of how long.
Defo by the end of winter. No, we got an opportunity to work. Can we go around the table and each like articulate our desires for what this, you know?
Yep.
I think I'm still trying to get a grip on what the possibilities are.
I'm still not entirely clear what happened with the hellhole last time.
So we went down the hellhole. That's right, Lynn. You were.
I was standing guard, and you never filled me in.
Well,
There are
the
some
buzzing
things
is
you
still
put-
in my head right
worth
now.
not knowing.
So
We're sparing you.
honestly, we didn't get very far. Buddy was sent ahead to scout, and we found some giant insect-like creatures that are about the size of a horse or two. And we, at that point, heard the commotion above and decided you called for us, remember?
Yes.
That's right. And we came and saw that the White Hawks had arrived and decided perhaps we should focus our attention on this new threat.
The whole ground was also covered with fungus, was that correct?
Lemur.
It was like a fleshy-like
Flesh
creature.
demon.
So I
Oh,
think
the
we have,
Lemur, that's
we
right.
have
They're immobile demons.
Yeah.
They're sort of like got the upper torsos of a person and tendrils that spiral out, but they're not very mobile.
So our understanding is that there's 3 different things taking place here. There's some kind of hellhole related fiends thing, hellhounds, hellhole. There's some kind of fungus zombie plot that seems to be executed by Strachan. And then there's also the White Hawks, who I don't know what their connection to all of this is.
Yeah, and somewhere in that, related to all or none, is the beast in the forest. Because that's, I think, related to Strachan.
That's right.
Big shadow wolf thing with the face.
The big shadow with the face.
That was last seen on the outskirts on the way to the...
As we came back in,
So our
Yeah,
options
just
here-
about 30, 40 minutes ago.
it's stalking. It's
And the town's hostile to us at this point, correct? Sorry, I'm just trying to recall.
They have
Not-
not been acting in a hostile manner towards you, but they did send out people to attack you as you went to the Astrid's hut.
Yes, but that was the only time that they were hostile.
But didn't we establish that they are kind of hive-minded?
Yes,
And we
also
have
stole-
killed some of the hive.
And we also stole their unicorn hen. So we can't just wander into the Grand Hall and be
They may
like,
not
hey
know
guys,
that
what's
yet."
going
They
on?
don't know
Well,
about-
nobody's gone into that house since you've come out, and nobody seems to be able to because they all seem quite distracted.
I reckon, like, we could just go in there and be
I think
like,
so
hey
too.
everyone,
We could just
what's going on?
Yeah. We're
What?
back from our journey in the forest. We did some fine hunting. Didn't find any unicorns. Damn.
We
Didn't find any meat either. Tell you that.
What if we point the White Hawks at the hellhole?
Also, what happened to the
Well, yeah, I think that's what Bernard was saying. So, but that would mean we'd have to go in and tell. We either point them at the hellhole one way, like a forcefully way, by creating the threat, or we can talk to them and actually just tell them about the hellhole.
Yeah,
I was
if they
actually
know that.
bad zombie people, bad fungus people versus White Hawks was what I was planning. Not
And that
the...
actually.
Oh, not the
Or
hellhole.
we could like
Oh.
suggest to them. Maybe
How do we get
magically
them to-
speaking.
You also
You
have
guys-
investigate.
Oh, do you
We
have
also
the-
have
Yeah.
the
You
treasure.
have the ability.
Well,
At
we
this
gotta-
point, sorry to interrupt, just briefly, you hear the sound of stables, doors slam, and a horse
Uh-oh.
thundering away from the village, and then a couple of shouts from front. Sounds like mercenary voices. Hey, who's that? Stop! Stop! And then ting ting, a couple of crossbow bolts flying in a direction, and you, Buddy, who's still at the front window, so looks around, and in the darkness, make a perception roll for me.
That's a 3.
You see Aaron Blackmane riding a horse at speed away from the village.
Wait, Aaron.
Yeah,
Our Aaron.
Your Aaron.
She's a zombie down there, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
But she's still technically
That's Aaron.
Aaron.
Hang on. Is Aaron?
No, I don't.
We're not really sure.
I wish, but we tried to cure that person before and it kind of evaporated. I think she might be too far gone.
Either way, we should probably try.
When I took a look at Aaron, she was probably 70%.
Can we?
Tuba?
So we're near one
Jump
of the
on
houses near the Grand Hall, and everyone's in the Grand Hall?
Yes. Well, not everyone in the village. People that you notice aren't in the village, like several of the farming families. So definitely the Coopers aren't there, the Smiths aren't there. That's all that you would recognize. But the same kind of people who you see kind of hanging around the hall or have seen over the last couple of days, they're the people who are there. All the important people, the Numer family is there, the Stalin family is there. All of Ivan's family, the Trots.
Well, we can either hide out around town, go to the Coopers, or march in like everything is fine.
I think we should march in like everything's fine.
I mean, it couldn't get any worse, right?
I mean, I doubt that the Whitehawks want to be turned into mushrooms. If we tell them about what's going on, they might be on side with us against the mushrooms at the very least.
Yeah.
That's actually a plan. Walk up and say, "Hey, guys, these are zombie people. You're about to be conned into a thing, and there's a hellhole. We should all link up and do
So
the
we're
thing."
going to try and use the Whitehawks to help us. Do we have an exit strategy?
Running
No.
away.
Yeah. The druid turns into a horse and we all pile on.
The only
We're going to
two,
ride Simon out of here.
the only two other places besides, the only other place that you've heard of besides Astrid's hut that is nearby or within a day or two striking distance from here, is the manor house of Sir Andal Wentworth, who is the lord of these lands.
They're mysteriously missing.
We could try and
We
run
could
into
just
this.
run into the hellhole and then they'll follow us.
I don't think that will happen.
They might.
Do you mean they the Whitehawks or they the mushroom?
The
people?
Whitehawks. So
Okay,
if
that
we
might
aggravate them and need to escape.
Well,
and
once
just
again, we
run
could.
down there.
I quite like the let's just talk to them plan.
Oh, but she said exit plan. So if it all
Oh,
goes
I
pear-shaped,
see the exit
even
strategy.
with nicely talking to them, if we just run down there, then maybe they'll just follow us or not follow us.
We can just
I
go to
think-
hell.
Exactly. I mean, that's where we want to go anyway. So eventually, to deal with the problem down there, not just to hell.
I was confused.
I was thinking we could probably just build a wall.
Walls are good.
Yeah, effective.
Oh, well, you know what?
So-
I can, I generally just... I'd prefer if they were dead.
Well, we're not saying they're
But
not going to be dead.
I'm willing to delay that
When you say
event.
they were
Let's
dead,
go
who
talk
were
to
they?
the Whitehawks
The-
and just at least get a
the
sense
Whitehawks?
of why they're here and what they're doing, and then
They
we can...
murdered the people who were going to...
That's a good point. They did murder that group of mushroom druids, so they might be more amenable to murdering this group of.
Some kind of mushroom grudge.
Solid point.
At least they've got experience in the field.
Spear just puts her arm around Gus. Like, it's okay. Gives Lynn a look like, come on. We need him right now. So confidently approach, find out why the Whitehawks are here. If things look like they're going pear-shaped, make our excuses and head towards the Coopers, where our treasure and loot is.
Hang on.
Or
The
if
White
things
Hawks
go
have
really
come.
pear-shaped.
Erin has just bolted under fire. She bugged out because the White Hawks were here.
The question is she doing that as a mushroom person or is she doing that as Aaron?
Well, they get a bit of both, remember? It was a very powerful magic that seemed to restore the mind. Unless they can be redeemed.
Of course.
But mass murder is not often found on the path of redemption.
But in terms of taking action, shall we take a vote? So, what are our options? We can talk to the Whitehawks. We can set the Whitehawks to fight them straight
We
away.
still need to probably talk to them or something.
I believe Spear is your character's name. Spear should talk to them.
Yeah.
I think I should go talk to the Whitehawks and see.
And if it goes poorly,
Maybe
then we
Saya
can
can come
intervene
with
with violence.
And maybe Saya
And
can
if
come
we
with
do
me.
need to intervene with violence, we can then try and drag them into the hole.
Sounds good.
That hole is not
I
good
think
for.
Anasaya or Jude should. What's her character's name? That's
Nariko.
right, Nariko should come with me. So that
Maybe
there's two
not.
fighters.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll
happy
be
to
around,
thank you.
but
You gotta be in horse form. Ready for the departure. You're our getaway vehicle.
you're not horsing around, are you?
No, I figure if it goes only slightly pear-shaped, like we're getting suspicious looks, then we head towards the Cooper's house, make our excuses and leave. And if it goes really pear-shaped, like we're gonna get attacked, then we run towards the hellhole.
I'm also just noting, but putting in the not for right now pile, Aaron bolting off to the manor.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah. I feel like that's.
If we go to the hellhole, and the town people follow us, and the town people and the giant bugs are not enemies, this is the problem. I mean, it's their hellhole, right?
Yeah, and I don't think they're their enemies.
I
But
think-
I think that's why we want to take the White Hawks with us to the hellhole.
Yeah, but if the White Hawks are trying to attack us, then we're stuck with White Hawks and giant bugs.
Yeah,
I
but
just-
that's why we talk to them. They have no reason to attack us at the moment, right?
I just think, like, generally the phrase "going to
Suggestion
hell"
here.
is not a good thing.
There's a suggestion here.
There is a suggestion here. As in
Like,
the
as in the
spell
spell suggestion.
Mm.
As in, you should check out that hellhole.
Well, we're not going to say hellhole.
That
There's
room
a-
over there
the-
in the basement.
The demon basement.
The main guy's, what's his name again? The head guy? It's his house, and he has a treasure basement, and there's some bonus treasure there. And, you know, being that you, I don't know,
There are wonders that you
staying
won't
here.
be able to believe.
What do we know about the White Hawks? We know you know a lot about them.
they like treasure, right?
Well, they're just sort of the worst of the human mercenary band.
So just like out for gold and willing to do
Brutal
violent,
plunderers,
brutal stuff.
not motivated by.
And why do you think they destroyed your druid circle?
Because the circle took a few down with them, and they had their standard hand markings with this white hawk.
But why would the White Hawks bother destroying your circle?
Maybe they were passing through and they're assholes.
Alright.
So we think that
It's obvious that some people find the circle rather misunderstood.
You do know that the circle was very out of the way and very hard to find. If you did not know who you were looking for, you would not have gone to that
there
location.
was an intention.
It's definitely orchestrated in some way, shape, or form.
Is it
So
possible
they're
that they already
racist.
know about the mushroom people here?
Yeah, well that's what I'm curious about because
Yeah, find out by talking.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, let's go talk.
or is this a trap laid for them by some druid who is some mushroom druid who's angry about what's happened?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not the bad.
Maybe they turned the entire town into
Maybe this is
mushrooms
all-
because they're not the bad guys.
Yeah.
And
Usually
just say
what vengeance will do.
this is a protean situation. Maybe who we think is the bad guy is not necessarily the bad guy, but let's have a chat with them, shall we?
So I think we've decided that some of us are gonna wait in the entrance to the Hellhound house. The Hellhound house.
Oh, should we just wait here?
I'll carry outside the Great Hall.
So the entrance to the Great Hall is the entrance to the side back entrance to the Great Hall is just across from the entrance to the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So let's just wait here.
Within like 15 feet.
And then you two head off?
we'll head off. Nariko and I are gonna go in.
Before you do that,
The front door.
I'm just gonna speak some words of inspiration to you.
What
Do
do you-
this well.
Oh, actually, who did you speak that to? Nariko?
Who's gonna be doing? Out of you two, who's gonna be doing the bulk of the talking? You two are the ones going in, right?
What's your charisma? You've got higher charisma.
I think
right?
you guys both have pretty high charismas.
I'm 14.
I'm 18 charisma. But I'm
Very
more
good looking.
more likely to intimidate than I am to persuade. But we'll give it a go.
As you're leaving, I'm gonna, cast guidance on one of you. It only lasts a minute, but if you walk really quickly.
You got to
On who?
On you, Spear.
Thank you.
And I say good luck, and I offer my head for you to pat it because halfling luck,
Yeah, I do that.
Toss
I
luck.
completely and I enjoy everything.
Alright, awesome.
Give Gus a hug.
Gus feels a bit left
It's
out. He's
okay.
like, mushroom?
Yes.
Sure.
Put a mushroom
Sure, why
around
not?
it. Okay.
Well, you eat a mushroom and gain 1 hit point.
We'll take it.
Now I'm on 35.
How are people in pain?
Yeah, give me a mushroom.
well, how much pain are people in?
Just a mushroom.
No, I'm actually very healed. I'm close to healed. Somehow I managed to not get hit. Might be the armor.
All right.
You're walking around in plate mail does that.
Yeah.
We get hit, but it doesn't really do much.
So,
So,
just you two. Do you want to enter through the side door, or do you want to come around the front, or how do you want to approach this?
Side door's probably fine. Like if we're coming from the direction, and if I may direct them back
We're
to that
looking
direction,
natural.
it would make
Yep.
sense that we're come from there.
And the rest of you are just staying inside or outside? Like, is it inside the house that you came from? Like the...
I think someone should be on
Ivan's
hearing
house?
duty. Perhaps our druid can transform into something with good hearing.
You gonna leave Buddy at the window?
Buddy can let
Okay.
me know.
No. Alright.
And the rest of you are just waiting outside in the snow?
Just in case I did mention this before, I'm doing the mage armor thing, which I feel like I did do, but just in case,
Okay, cool.
that's a thing.
Nice. Alright, so door opens. And you guys step in. Immediately upon coming into the room, you see large banquet tables laid out. A lot of the available food that was in the kitchen is being put out. Wine is coming out. You see a lot of civilians. Some of the members of the town or village that you haven't seen yet are here as well. But by your calculations, not all of them. There are a bunch of mercenaries, all rough and tumble, some sort of more eastern folk with sort of long moustaches and thin beards, heads tied up in top knots, lots of furs hanging out. Most of them carry light crossbows as well as swords and axes. There's a couple of sly-looking folk by whose dress you can tell are magical types. So there's like a couple of sort of just mercenary mages hanging out there. And then you see Dretch. Dretch is a large man, a rough visage, who wears a big heavy cloak. He's actually wearing Ivan's nice cloak at the moment, and his gold necklaces, the big ones that you saw when he first came in, and is currently sitting at the throne, or the main seat at the head of the room, with his foot up on Ivan's hunched over body, and much of the revelry in this corner of the room stops as Dretch turns to slowly look at you and says, "Who have we here?"
Hi, I'm Naruko. You are?
Naruko. I'm Dretch.
And you're doing... What are you doing here?
Oh, well, we are a bunch of honorable soldiers fresh from the conflict. We were very lucky to have stumbled upon this opulent village. Seems very well equipped for the winter. It appears that you didn't tell us, kick, and he laser boots solidly into the side of Ivan, that other soldiers had arrived before us. And he looks at you. Platinum Dragon. And your friend, what company are you from? Naruko, was it?
Yes, it was Naruko.
Sassy.
Yeah.
I like it. Come on. You see, just inside the door, which you come in, there actually is a guard sitting there. He was just like busy eating a beef hank and quaffing down some mead.
Yep.
And he's like quickly smartens himself up and looks to attention. A couple of other mercenaries seem to pay you mind, but no more than like 3 or 4. The rest of them are just going in the revelry. Their voices lowered a little bit to allow for this conversation, and they sort of just fall in around you cautiously, not pointing weapons at you or anything,
Yeah.
but they're being cautiously aware.
Guess we can head a bit closer.
Yeah.
Like walk a little bit. Like we're not yelling at each other, so I kind of just head a little bit closer.
So as you come up, you say, "So how long ago did you arrive in this town?"
Not long.
Not long.
We've been here a few days. It's good to see other soldiers from the front. How goes it? What
Some
happened
of us
to you?
survived.
Yes. Only some.
Yeah, well, as soon as everything started turning and orcs coming out of their goddamn holes in the ground and appearing on every hilltop firing arrows at us, we weren't going to stick around. Let all the young knobs go out and get killed in the gullies. They weren't even supposed to rush forwards. It was all a bait and trap. We knew it from the moment we arrived, but we weren't being paid enough for that kind of information to be shared, so we just kept to ourselves. Took what we needed and left. When everything turned sour, what unit were you with?
Doesn't matter, they're all dead.
Matters to me.
Well, you know what's
And I am asking the questions, he says.
Well,
Stern
I'm
look on his
also
face.
asking questions.
Yeah, I don't put much clout in your question asking. Or maybe I will if you just tell me what unit you're with.
I was with the 13th Free Company, I believe it was.
The Daggerfoot Irregulars, weren't you?
No, I wasn't.
13th Free Company. Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
we were
They
at
were
the
a good
front
unit.
when it soured.
They fought well.
We tried.
Always first and foremost, I'm not surprised to see a follower of the Platinum Dragon in there. But, live well, die well. Raises his glass. Everyone's like, yeah, but not today. So, you came in and secured the town for us. It's mighty nice.
And you could say that.
Secured, yes.
It's all under
Have you-
control then.
Have you been to this town before?
Some years ago. Brett! One of the soldiers comes and says, yeah, what? He's like, you been here before, yeah? He's like, yeah, nice town. Came through about 4 years ago. Said it was nice, said it was here. We figured it was far enough of the beaten trail that it wouldn't attract the attention of the orc raiders. Forest tends to be a bit of unfamiliar territory for mountain orcs.
Yes, we were very lucky to find ourselves here. We were attacked by a group of wolves, including a dire wolf, on our way here. Did you encounter any such beasts?
No. I think they're more afraid of us than we are of them.
Of course. Fearsome as you are.
It's true. Make a deception roll.
Is it still within a minute?
Okay, you do think he's fearsome? Okay, cool. Make a persuasion roll then.
Is it still within a minute?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I still have 4 plus
You add
4.
D4 to it.
Yes.
It's
not too
where's
bad.
the 4? Oh, yeah, so 17.
In no way facetious.
Maybe I'm
He's
right.
like, good.
You seem to be lucky. You have quite a few soldiers here. How many of you survived the battle?
Well, we've got 20 here.
20.
We were 300 strong when we started the action.
Well, that's quite a decimation.
We got separated. Some Werven came crashing into our unit. Lost track of half of them.
And I see you're helping yourself to the food of this town. They've had a lucky harvest, I see.
I think we've earned our keep defending the Empire.
It's true, this
Or
town
the
was
Lord's
too late to
Alliance,
the call
that is.
and did not contribute any soldiers to the cause.
Oh, really? Is that right? Solid kick into the side. Ivan rolls down the stairs at the front of the throne area, and you see him like just scampering off to the side.
You might be interested to know that this one seems to have found some dwarven treasure. We're not sure exactly where, but he showed us some of his spoils.
He did.
Yeah, these are very nice, he says, looking at the necklaces. I've had not such a nice jacket in a long time. Ooh, I do like mink. He's rubbing his very grubby fingers on some very expensive trim. And you discovered the rest of his cache, is what you're telling me?
Well, not exactly. We've gone into his house keeps, and there was a few locked rooms and such things, and
Oh, yeah?
yeah, well, we haven't fully explored them, but, we thought we'd come and share the goods with our fellow soldiers, assuming there is some, so we thought we'd come and let you know.
Well, share
You
away.
should go
What have you
and,
got?
Assist us in searching the place. I mean, you wouldn't want us to be dishonest. in
Searching?
case
What
we
is it, a
are.
house?
It is a house, yes.
You haven't searched it already?
Well, we've tried, but we
We've
haven't.
tried. We haven't had much luck.
And we're not really sure where he found this dwarven treasure. He says it was in the foothills near here, but I don't believe it.
So,
We just...
well, my men are tired.
Well, there's stamina potions too. This town was
Stamina
quite a find.
potions?
Yes.
Like,
Yes. That's right.
Black magic.
you're not
Gus
there.
isn't here. It's just in the window, like.
Buddy's giving.
But you're hanging out with the other guys listening, and you're just...
Buddy gives a sleazy squint from the window.
Yeah. Yes. Have you spoken to the doctor? You should definitely interrogate some of
Doctor?
his. This
Ivan?
one's men.
He looks around. Bill, Greg, get him. They run over to Ivan and sort of grab him. And they just, as they grab him, they pick it up, and it's just the image of Ivan disappears. And they just grab a sack of grain, which tears, and they go, what? Everyone sort of looks.
He's a tricksy sword, isn't he?
One of the mages stands up and starts looking around the room in earnest. A lot of the other mercenaries, when they see that, they seem to get a little bit more on edge. And Ivan's and Dretch is like, what exactly is going on here?
Well, I didn't know you could do that. Did you know you could do that?
No, but I was surprised at how lucky this very town seemed, and it looks like there's some magic about.
Magic? What kind of magic?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a magician.
Bill, sort it out. A slender half-elven mage sort of steps up. He's wearing a pretty revealing open back armor. Some of the sort of like a bit lithe and sort of just like starts skulking around the
just
room.
Blushes slightly.
Yeah, he draws sudden patterns in the air, and you see his eyes sort of glaze over with this luminescent blue very faintly. He starts looking around the room. He's like, this room, this building has a enchantment on it that protects it from fire. Apart from that, can't see much else.
Why are they in the firewood?
The room is made of straw.
No.
And there's 2 giant fires in there.
I would think that there's
Something to do with the hellhole?
hellhounds.
Burnt everything.
Maybe that's why the hellhound stuff never caught anything on fire.
To be fair, if I was a flaming creature, I would like my houses to be fire retardant.
That's true. So it's
And,
pretty dark.
guys. You guys all stand at the side of the Great Hall. There are guards out the front, and Buddy is hovering by one of the windows up here. Inside, there are 20 members of the White Hawks Mercenary Company. Spear and Nariko, who stand before Dretch, who's here. And there are guards from the company at each of the doorways, side doors here. Bernard, you're at the top of the stairs, just peering in the side door here. The fires go green and then dark, but only for a minute. And then you guys hear a noise. Suddenly, all of the civilians in the room transform into these creatures. And through this door burst more of these creatures, and they seem to be fully infested versions, much like the auntie that you aided into the other life before.
She's in a better place now.
Furthermore, Bernard and Gus and Saya and Lynn, you all hear sounds coming from inside the house behind you. Sound like snorting, grunting, scraping sounds. So this is the situation. The door burst open. Suddenly, in vulgar transformations, many of the townspeople in the room start erupting in violent sores, spores of black fungus erupting from their bodies, and claws protruding from their hands, their teeth falling out and being replaced by gnarling, tendriling forms as they all lunge out at their nearest full humans in the environment. What do you do, Gus? And you've heard sounds behind you, coming from the other house,
I'm going to,
which is about here. Furthermore, the kitchen is just there. And you are familiar with its layout.
I'm going to inflame my symbiote. So 10 feet around me.
Yep.
I spore up and get my shillelagh on.
Okay, so invisible spores pour out of your body. And your shillelagh is throbbing and large. Do you take any action?
I will... Oh, that's 2 actions. A bonus action and a regular action. Standard action.
Okay.
My movement?
No, I'm kind of more just turning around to see what's about to potentially burst out of these unfortunate buildings.
And... Bernard.
I use my halfling ghost wise telepathy with a line of sight on these guys if I've got it.
Yeah, you're peeking through the door right here and you can see them.
And I want to just blast them a little message saying, there's something happening in the Hellhole house and you got to get out through this door as quickly as possible. And then having sort of said that, I'm hoping that's free, I'd like to cast Mage Armor upon myself and peel away from the door towards the kitchen.
Okay, great. So you drop down the stairs and you get to your 25, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go into the kitchen door if you want.
I'm kind of just motioning for the others to, like, who are out on this side of the door with me to basically go, there's the sound of the house, in case you hadn't noticed, and we've got to get them out.
Okay.
There's 2 guards, and I don't know.
Alright. Cool. So that's Lynn.
So you guys are trying to get out of there, or
It's unclear to me at this point.
Yeah. So
are the undead attacking the soldiers?
Yes, absolutely.
See? One
I
problem.
think getting them
Another
out
problem.
of there would be
Taking
a
care of
good
each
idea.
other.
Sorry. This is always the
What are you doing,
Can
Lynn?
I see into the hall? Or can I move
No,
such that I
you
could?
well, Bernard's just, did you close the door when you came down the stairs?
Yes.
Okay.
No, because I'm expecting them. I left it ajar. I'm expecting them to need to.
So from your position, Lynn, you can sort of glance across and you see like one of these creatures attacking a mercenary and a couple of others just hanging out. Well, looking perturbed, going for like dropping their ale mugs, being caught by surprise by this attack.
Right. I would like
strongly
to.
suggest.
I'd like to open the door a bit further so that I can see these 2.
Okay, so you quickly climb up there.
Yep.
Push the door open. Yep. So it's now wide open.
And using my new college feature, because I am trying out the College of Glamour because it sounded fun and I'll figure out a way to fit it into my backstory.
Yeah, you've had the book for a long time. You only just got around to reading it.
Yeah, no, I will absolutely figure it out. But
My theory is that you guys were always level 3. You've just been so fatigued from your journey that you're just catching up and recovering now.
I remember. I can do this.
but I'm going to use a point of inspiration and my mantle of inspiration. I'm going to grant temporary experience you 2, and you may both move up to your movement without incurring any attacks of opportunities.
Okay,
Good.
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I can do it up to 3 people, so I'll also give it to you just for the temporary HP. You can also move if you want.
Alright, cool. And that's you. Did you want to take any further movement?
Once I've done that, I'm going to back away from the door again.
Okay, you do it.
How many
Quick
times
drop
is it?
down the stairs.
Excuse me.
That's cool. So, spear.
3.
So I've heard that there's something happening in the hellhole.
Well, somebody's... Yes, because Bernard said there's some movement happening in the
How far
hellhole.
away
In
from
the Hellhole house.
Incidentally,
So this is the door here to the
Yeah.
side. Just where this little
Are
black
there
line is.
any undead on my way to the door?
No, just these 2 guards.
Okay. I am in a dilemma. Because I'm a paladin who's taken an oath of devotion, and there are undead attacking innocent people.
Well,
Innocent.
is in
They're
question.
savable.
They're innocent of being undead.
That's true.
I will make a note that the extra movement you get from mine happens on my turn or on yours, so if you want to use it.
Has to happen now.
Yes.
Oh, during your turn. So,
Yes, and you also get your own movement in addition to that.
so before your turns, and seeing as you're going right next to each other, which is cool, before you take your turns, you get to take a movement action.
Can I like grab her hand and like run towards the door?
Vice versa, yeah. I don't know. I mean, you could run right past these guys without provoking an attack of opportunity. That'd be
Ooh, sweet.
That's
Straight
the
out.
idea.
10,
Okay.
20, 30. Yeah, you guys
So
could
I'm
clear
like
the door.
drawing my sword, about to hit an undead when she grabs me.
Okay, of
I'm like,
course.
what?
The
Yes.
sword's coming out, she pushes it back into the sky.
You guys end up on the back stairs. The door's open. These guys are like, what? As you just like race straight past them. And then we have 6. What are you doing?
Yes.
Oh no, 6. No, now
We
you guys
still
get
get our
actions.
turns.
You get your actions. What would you like to do?
My first action is to say, what are you doing?
Well, these are just little undead. There's probably a bigger thing controlling them all down the hell.
We don't have time for this.
I strongly suggest. I will use suggestion.
Okay, so we're going to move towards the door then. The Hellhound door, because we've heard the Hell door, that door
Yeah.
to Hell.
So you want to jump just straight off the side down here?
Yeah, I reckon.
Alright, cool.
And open that door to see what's
Jump
happening.
down there and rush across.
Oh, that was totally not what I had intended when I pointed out that whole hellhole fiasco. It was more
I know what
run
you were
away
thinking.
from it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
pictured
you rip
it,
open
okay.
the door
I
and
am
then
a devotion paladin. We're going in!
coming down the corridor, you immediately see these 3 creatures.
See, I
Weird
was
and
wanting to
twisted
build the
fungal shapes. Not too dissimilar
Fungal.
from... Yeah, they're sort of like got bulbous... They seem to be demons entirely made up of these tumorous tubers, but with teeth and claws. Some kind of advanced version of the other rock zombies that you see around you.
Wow.
I think I still have 9 charges in my round.
Yep, so that was your movement action.
Yeah. So I'm gonna unicorn one, the one closest to me.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Cool.
unicorn.
Mark off a charge. It fails in a stamina saving throw and just starts to literally fall apart. The magical energy holding the tumors together just start to disintegrate, and it just falls into a puff of black spores and broken pieces of tuber.
Okay, we know we can kill them.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good start.
You know what they say? If it can spore,
that's your
it
action?
can die.
You've done your movement actions. Anything else? Are you done?
No, I don't think I have any further actions, so I guess I hunker behind my shield at this point.
You can step to one side of the
I
door.
will
You've
step
still
to
got
one
5
side.
feet. Awesome. Nariko,
So
you're just at the top of the stairs here.
I will use my Hexy Blade thing. So now I can summon weapons because Hexblade.
Sick.
And I'm gonna summon a bow and arrow. I don't know if I summon the arrows as well, but I'm
Yeah.
hoping. Yep.
I'm gonna say so.
So she's just stepped aside. I'm like, okay. And I'm gonna try and shoot the next one down the corridor. I'm gonna say try. It's a try.
Yep, it's in half cover, but you could take a movement action first and get just straight down the line if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alright, cool. So you just drop down and you come over here and you can see straight down the corridor.
Okay. Let's see what this is. It's probably no, I probably hit spear. Probably. That was right.
What did
That
you
is
get?
a 1.
Oh, yeah. You sort of totally new at this summoning weapon
I
thing.
sure am.
So you like go to summon the arrows, like, and then as you fire, the energy just evaporates into
Alright,
nothingness.
that's good. That's better than hitting you in the back there. Like, oh.
All right.
saw that.
So at this point, the mercenaries are still surprised. They're really taken aback. They don't get to act this round. But
do
Hmm?
I get to go?
all right. So yeah.
So, I march up those stairs and I throw open the door.
It's already open, wide open.
Great. I come. How far can I go in?
You've gone just up the stairs, so probably another 15 feet. So about this
How
far.
can you get me within 30 feet of as many undead as possible?
That's probably your best bet. 10, 20, 30. That'll put you within range of 4, 5. Well, all those guys. All except for these 2. So that's like
Great.
8.
Great.
Okay.
I channel all of my divine energy and
Okay.
call upon Shah. And by channeling my divinity, this glow happens and I turn undead as they have to run away from me now.
They
They have to make checks.
Wisdom saving throws.
Yes.
I just want to let you know that undead are terrible at wisdom saving throws.
I've got the same ability, so we can.
And apart from this one,
Their low wisdom is what got them into this mess in the first place.
apart from this one who rolled a natural 20,
And it's like, not full of me.
what? The rest of them will have to run away in their next turn.
Great. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to summon my spiritual weapon.
All right, so a light shines through the roof, through the window. The clouds part, and the moon shines through the window. Buddy's like, "Where?" As the light hits Spear, and then from there, she holds up her hand, and it becomes a reflective prism that just refracts the light throughout the whole room, and all the undead are sort of struggling to move away from it.
Great.
And you summon, then suddenly a thing appears. What appears?
Okay. It is two swords. One is like engraven with all these, like, one almost looks like curved like a moon, and one has like the handle of like a scorching sun.
Okay, cool.
And these like two swords, they kind of like work.
Just appear and start spiraling around each other. And where are they going to appear?
It appears next to the one that's not afraid of me.
So what am I going to give you? Because I haven't made a spiritual weapon for you. I didn't think about your level up. Okay, you've got a choice between a pig, a barrel, and a small flaming critter.
Oh, please, the pig.
The pig. Where would you like the pig to appear?
Next to the one that's not the natural 20.
All right.
That bugger. And it's gonna hit him.
All right, cool.
Or try to hit him. 20 unnatural.
Yeah, that's going to hit.
I certainly hope so.
Otherwise, you've got a long and terrible fight ahead of you.
It takes a big 4 damage.
Smacks into it. Alright, so is that your turn now?
Yeah.
So, in the undead's action, in the mercenaries, they're surprised. The undead, these ones who just ran in this doorway, they go running back out the doorway.
Sorry,
This one's trying to like climb up the wall. This one gets out the doorway and falls over there. This one keeps running. This one comes out. This one runs into the fire and starts burning. This one runs away. This one runs away. And this one goes to attack the one guy right there. Hits and does a bunch of damage. So this guy's can scratch. Yeah. And then it's back to the top of the round. What are you doing? Gus?
What is Gus doing? Gus reaches his hand out, and as he pushes it through, it's like his skin catches on the spores in front of him, and the skin peels back from his hand as his skeleton is thrust through, as his flesh is peeled off it, and then it breaks, and the bones just keep going out and wrap themselves, or attempt to wrap themselves around that guy right there.
Okay.
That'll be a 21.
Yep, that's definitely going to hit.
So yeah, just
Chill touch.
Chill touch. And he'll be taking 1 necrotic damage.
Well, you know,
It looked cool.
the finger like sticks.
But is he undead?
No.
No, well, it's just very annoying.
All right, cool. And that's you. No movement.
No, I'll hold fast.
All right. Bernard.
The options for elegant cowardice are rapidly evaporating, and we seem to be going in
Cowardice is never.
hard.
Well, Saria's gone in.
Yeah, if I move up the
Everyone
stairs-
else literally ran out.
Too holy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up the stairs to the top of the stairs where I can see Saria.
Mm-hmm.
Do we like swap spots too? Like
We did.
And from there I scream at her.
Reverse positions.
Wrong plan, Saria. And then if I have line of sight down into that corridor that the two guys are, the two tuber monsters are coming from in the hellhole house.
Yeah, you do. Well, no, not quite. You have to duck back. You can just duck back to here. and you can see this guy.
I just really want to set a bonfire under the square that the first guy's in. So if they keep moving forward, they're going to take some damage.
In front or in?
Kind of in his square so that he's it's a deck save to bustle out.
Yeah, so he jumps out of the way.
Okay.
Out of the bonfire.
The guy behind will take damage if he moves in.
And I'm just going to use this little red guy to represent the bonfire here.
Cool.
Flame on.
And that's a move and a screaming at Saria and a spell, so I'm good.
Bonfire lasts and they take more damage if they move through it again, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Alright, Lynn.
I'm going to get line of sight on that corridor.
Not hard.
And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on the one in front of the fire.
And what do I have to do?
This is a wisdom saving throw that they're rolling.
This is a big spell.
And if they fail?
Level 1. If they fail, they take a whole 3d6 damage, and they have to use their immediately move as far away from me as they can.
Even
right
if it
through
puts
the fire.
them at their own risk?
Yes.
Okay, moves back through the fire. He's now flaming.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Dead.
The creature does not move into obviously dangerous ground such as fire or pit. I apologize.
Okay,
In
he
that case,
ducks
I
into
may-
this open door that you left behind. And is now out of line of sight of you. And doesn't take any damage.
He still takes the 3d6, doesn't he?
Yeah, he still does.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I may actually, probably should have done something different. I was banking on him moving through that fire, but oh well.
3d6 is a lot of pain.
It's a lot of pain.
Especially when you roll 3 6s.
Yes.
That's 18 damage.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm just gonna remove that guy. It falls apart. The psychic binds that hold it together. Whatever is holding it together is now tearing it apart from the inside out as it consumes its own body and collapses into a pile of inanimate fungus.
And
Whatever
the
you
pieces
said.
take D8 from being blown backwards into the fire.
Alright, cool. So that's happened.
Yeah.
Spear.
What's happening? I'm looking down the corridor.
You've just ducked out of the way of the corridor, and you've heard this creature disassemble itself under the gaze of Lynn's penetrating wit, I believe.
Sorry. I whispered something at it. You assume that it was an insult like I usually yell during.
Yeah. This one was
And I'm just horrified.
Don't get hurt outside.
That's great.
The elderly woman scares you. Starting to remind you more and more like your mother every day. Of your mother every day.
So there's only one left.
Well, so you can tell, yeah.
There is a whole hell down there.
There's a whole okay. Also, I mean, what's building this up? Okay, well, I think Spear's going to draw her sword and charge the final one bravely. After watching it all
There is a
disintegrate.
bonfire.
There is a bonfire
there's a
blocking the
bonfire.
corridor.
That little red guy is
do
a
about it,
bonfire.
people.
Isn't there a room that's interconnected? Can't you run through?
At this side, there's a big
No,
open
throw
room,
a javelin.
but not this side.
I'll throw a javelin.
Okay, so you just duck in, you get a line on it. It is just peeking out the doorway. It's going to have a little bit of cover, so make a roll.
15.
That's total.
Oh, yes.
Alright, cool.
Yeah,
what?
it's a 10.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's mostly obscured. Javelin just sticks in the back wall.
Damn.
Who's
I'm
gonna treat
gonna
you later? The javelin.
take some steps back.
Cool.
Step aside, back.
Away from the building or just off to the side?
Away from the building.
You join the group. Back to your usual position, side by side with Nariko. Speaking of which,
I'm gonna try the whole thing again and hopefully not fail so dramatically.
Turn on
Take a
dead.
deep breath, steel yourself.
Well, it's a bit better.
Stop them
16.
interacting.
16. Yep.
You
So
saved
this
the bad
time,
guys.
the flame crackles as the iridescent radiant arrow sort of appears, and you let it fly. Shoom! Goes down and sticks into it. Roll damage. That's a longbow, I take it.
Yes. Well, That's not too bad. 11.
White Hawks.
That is just enough. These critters don't seem particularly easy to miss. So Thok sticks in, does a point of damage, or does 11 points of damage. It seems to have stuck it in a really awkward spot, and it's finding it very difficult to move.
I high five you. I'm so excited.
I am so excited! I did a thing!
Well done!
Alright, so it is 6, sorry.
Yeah. I'm just gonna cast. How many feet am I from the? How many feet is my weapon from that last bad green guy?
It's this one.
No, from the green guy.
The green blobby thing that I put an arrow through.
Oh no, that's way too far. Don't worry.
I just remembered where I was.
I'm gonna cast Toll of the Dead. I'm not gonna. Nope. I'm gonna spiritual weapon hit that one guy again, and then I'm gonna move to the rest of the group.
Alright, cool. Make an attack.
That's another big ass fall.
Misses.
And then I'm gonna actually come to the
Did you
doorway.
roll to hit?
Oh, sorry. Rolls a hit. That's 21.
The 4 points of damage is actually enough to finish him off.
Oh, great.
These rod zombies don't have much health.
Cool. I'm gonna then move my spiritual weapon just with me as I go, and I'm going to cast Toll on the Dead once I've completed my movement, if I'm within 60 feet of the green guy.
Okay.
The spiritual weapon, a bonus action to this. That's amazing.
Not quite.
Not quite?
Not quite.
That's fine.
Sorry. You've got a little bit more movement. That will put you in range. You could jump down here if you
Yeah,
want.
I'll do a jump.
Okay, just make a DC 10 athletics, just in case. You might fail.
No,
I might be lucky.
All good.
No, you drop down, and you are now within range to Toll the Dead.
So they need to make a wisdom 13.
Oh yeah, they don't have much wisdom.
Okay, great. So they take 2 points of damage.
Oh no, they take their 2 points of damage.
I know how you feel.
Actually, that was pretty much all they had left after that amazing arrow shot.
You actually
So
do 12
Oh, sorry, it took. Oh, don't worry about it.
even more damage. The binds that were holding it together now forced it to fall apart. However, as you were running through the door, these 2 mercenaries take attacks of opportunity on you.
Mercenaries? But I just saved them.
They're not that smart. Also, they're not that good at hitting things. So unless your AC is a... is your AC higher than 11?
Yes.
They both miss.
As they swing at her, I'm going to hurl out as a free action, "You rascals!" if possible. And wince inwardly. Oh! If,
You hear Dretch's voice. So we are, "It's kicked! You scrawny little shit! Get your ass in here now!" Awesome. And it is now the undead go. So this one burns in the fire. This guy who's out the front sort of comes back to his senses and starts attacking this one. That mercenary guard hitting him. Is doing some damage. Mercenary's kind of injured. This one sort of comes to his senses and runs over and attacks that guy. He falls over on the way and starts picking himself back up, so misses completely. These ones just keep running. That one also keeps running. How long does it last for?
A minute.
And this one turns.
But
to
I
attack
don't
this
think
guy.
I have to. Hold on.
Is it within line of sight of you?
Yeah. A turn creature must spend its turn trying to move as far away as it can, and it can't willingly move. It can also, for its action, it can only dash action to try to escape. Oh no, it does have to try to escape me. But like they just have to escape. They really just can't move closer.
Okay.
Oh, because you're not in there anymore.
Yeah, I'm not in there
Okay.
anymore.
So they can be our
Then these guys all run back in and literally tear these two mercenaries to pieces, including that evil bastard halfling who used to give you so much trouble in the White Hawks.
Excited?
You excited?
Excited me. It's bittersweet.
But yeah, they tear apart these two. And then the mercenaries, finally acting of their own, they sort of go to run out and then turn back and like, whoa. This one, this mage is the one with the nice open back, so it fires a couple of magic missiles off of this guy, blasting him to pieces. Dretch sort of starts running across this way and says, fall in, form a line! These guys come up here. This mage over here also fires a couple of, just fires a witch bolt at one of them, doing a little bit of damage, and the rest of them just start falling in. This one hears the commotion and runs along. Does he see Buddy? No. These three all just run up and hack that zombie to pieces. And the rest of them start falling back and, as ordered, form a line.
Where's the fireball in the unit?
I know, they're all nicely clustered together.
At which point, you all have hairs standing up on the back of your neck. Sort of an overwhelming sense of magic starts to appear in the area. And two things happen. First, a line of fire erupts.
That's some serious fire.
I'm glad we're all on the
Down
same
the
side of
center
that.
of the room.
Yes. Mostly not in the building.
It's okay. It's
building
fire
fireproof.
retardant.
It's true. They thought about this in advance.
Wow.
Yeah, and a wall of fire just erupts down the center of the room, hitting all these people. Three of them instantly are incinerated, including one of the wizard. Sort of jump away. And Dretch takes some pretty bad damage. Dretch has like fire. His clothes are on fire. He throws his expensive cloak off. He's screams. And this one gets incinerated. And this wizard manages to duck out of the way before getting hit by it. And then as you run downstairs from so Bernard, you turn to you've ducked up here, looked in, you've turned to go away, and then you look behind you and you see shadows start to just seep up through the floorboards, and then appearing in between all of these guys.
Can you spin the things like looking at the
You
side
see
of the wall?
Space wolf guy.
Terrifying. It is
a
like,
giant
so
shadow
creepy.
dog. Its translucent flames licking up the side of its body. Its large marble face looking around, and its claws just reach out and slash through the back, across the back of Dretch. He sort of cries and staggers forwards, being burned by the fire and now slashed by the wolf. And then, as quickly as it came, it sinks back into the shadows
Oh, that's concerning.
beneath the floor. And Dretch screams, "Ah, what the hell was that? Archers!"
Your comeuppance!
And that is back to the top of the round. Oh, Gus.
Sorry, I'm thinking just where Gus is at and how much He's unhappy. Gus moves up the stairs to where that guy was. Are those two guys within 15 feet of each other?
These two?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. So move up to sort of the middle of those guys.
Bernard is kind of in the way.
Oh, he's tiny.
And you,
Oh,
I can
walk
share
with a step
space.
Okay.
Nimble size. I can let him pass. I'm not sure I want to though.
No.
And I scream, "This is for the circle of the spore!" And this thunder wave just smashes out in front of me.
It's 20 feet wide. Is that
15
right?
feet wide
15 feet wide.
and 15
okay.
feet forward.
15 feet forward.
Cool. Do knock him back.
They get
Ooh.
pushed through that little flame wall is what they get pushed through.
They have to make a stamina check, right?
They make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, Constitution saving throw. So Dretch is like clings to the floor, holds it. As it looks, turns his eye, pushing through the thunder wave, shaking everything around him, vibrating, putting the flames lick and go out. And he goes, "You piece of shit."
That's piece of fungus to you.
And then this guy goes, "Wah!" Flies into the flame, incinerating. This guy holds on, turns around. This one goes, "Wah!" And he's like just grabs the floor as he's being dragged towards it. It's 20 feet they get pushed, right?
They get pushed 10 feet.
Okay, not quite, not even quite that far. But that guy definitely got incinerated.
But they also still take damage.
Okay, roll for your damage.
So Drek will take 8 points of thunder damage.
Oh,
Is it
he's
thunder?
not looking very good at this point.
Yes, it's thunder damage. Kaboom. The one more will take 4, and the next one will take 7.
All right. So this one who's holding on, a rock just dislodges from the fireplace and slams into the side of his head. You see his hat fly off and his brains start leaking out as he falls to the ground dead. And the others are injured. The half as much damage if they succeeded, yes?
Oh no, I only rolled 1d8 instead of 2d8.
Oh, okay. Cool. And the mage takes a hit. It seems rather upset by it. All right, cool. And that's you?
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, you know what? I'll just step out of the doorway.
No, stay.
We're gonna
okay,
drop
I'll
down.
stay.
Just make a arbitrary DC 10 athletics check to just drop to the bottom
It's
of
not
that.
arbitrary. Yes. Oh. That's a no.
Well, you take 2 points of damage as you sprain your ankle.
Ow.
Brennan.
I step up onto the top step.
You catch the eye of Dretch.
And I say, "Hey, Dretch, take a chill pill." And then I ice knife. And
Dexterity?
I am basically making a ranged spell attack against him. 8 plus 4 is a 12. I don't know if that hits his armor class.
No.
Okay, and then
Not at all.
everyone within 5 feet takes dex saving throw for an explosion. Of
Okay, no, he fails. The mage fails.
That's 2d6. 3 points of damage.
Okay. He takes a bit more damage. He's definitely just got blasted by the thunder wave and takes a bit of damage from
And then
the
I
ice
see that
knife.
he's still standing there, and I.
Come back down here.
And then I. Yoink! Off the
You
step.
being the only person who jumps down the stairs quite happily, and you get over here. So you guys hear a little pitter patter of feet, like running up behind you. Did you want to dismiss the bonfire?
While are we trying to head in there? Are they looking?
I don't know.
No.
I'm just asking. I'm just reminding you that it's there.
No, I was going to dismiss it when I either cast it again somewhere inside of the door,
Okay.
but I don't have the action.
Lynn.
Right, I'm going to pile onto the bunch of people who are just going for Drek, I don't know how to pronounce it.
Dretch.
Dretch. So I can get up there, can't I?
Yep.
Will I have movement to jump down again
Say
after?
pot shots are like ding, ding,
Okay,
ding.
so I'm just
You have
standing.
just enough movement to get to the top of the stairs.
Oh well, hopefully I get rid of him with my vicious mockery.
Does he make a save?
Yes, he does. He makes a wisdom save.
Alright. Yeah, he's not so wise today.
So
His wisecracking days are over. Yes.
So feeling incredibly proud of herself for this terrible, terrible pun, she's going to yell, "I guess your company is feeling the heat, huh?"
Roll damage, please.
That's 3 psychic damage and disadvantage on his next attack, which is
Okay.
something
As the withered old woman pops up the side of the stairs and says, he's rather confused, and these people just keep cycling through the doorway. Hey, die! Hey, die! He seems to be damaged by how horrible your joke is, visibly wincing. But he's nonetheless still standing. Or crouching, as the case may be. And spear.
I can't get into the doorway anymore, can I?
No, there's a normal-sized human now in the way.
My apologies. If you shove me, I will understand.
I don't think I'm the shoving kind. I'm not sure if there's anything else I can do in that instance.
You could hold your action to throw
Yes,
a javelin
that's what I'm gonna
if he sticks his head out the door.
I will hold my action. I will prepare my swords and look at the door expectantly.
Holding actions may not be a bad idea for things that can appear, attack, and dematerialize.
Okay.
We need to consider that.
So you're holding your action, and what are you holding to do? You have to declare what your intention is.
Yeah. I think I will prepare a javelin to throw and
At
aim
something,
it at
if it appears.
anything on just scanning that wall for anyone sticking their head out a window or a door.
Change your facing.
Hostile.
Yeah.
Alright. So, Nariko.
Well, I guess I'll just move a little bit round to the side so I can see the doorway as
Side
well.
or side?
This side?
Mhm.
I guess I can see,
Through the doorway.
yeah, through the doorway.
Kind of that line.
But I will also actually prepare an action to shoot an arrow at anything that comes towards Lynn. So like if anything's going to come up to her face, then I will shoot an arrow.
Okay. Operation. And Saya.
Do you mind just spinning the?
Oh. You and your pig are right here.
All right.
By which I mean the dancing twin blades of Sean's saloon.
I'm gonna pull back as far as I can. So I've got 35 feet. So I think I can get to this the building.
Up to you.
Yeah. And I'm gonna bring my pig blades with me.
They can only move 20 feet.
They move. Oh, can they? I thought they moved. Just move them there, and then I'm just gonna hold my action for anything that
Decides to come up.
jumps out.
Yep. Okay. What action are you
To-
holding?
Attack with to cast a spell.
You're
To
holding a
cast
spell.
ray of
Okay.
You're
move-
aware that if the hold action doesn't go off, you still lose the spell slot.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a cantrip.
Okay,
Okay.
awesome. And then the mercenaries go. Dretch runs this way. And then you see as he's running, and then you can see what he's doing, and then he pulls out a healing potion and downs it. And then as a bonus action, he pulls out another healing potion and downs it. And then turns and looks at you and said, "Kill any motherfucker that comes in that doorway!" And so this one turns around and pulls out a light crossbow. This one runs across, coming over here, pulling out a light crossbow. This one prepares a magic missile. So, 2 magic missiles hit you. You take 8 points of damage. And then a light crossbow. What's your armor class at the moment?
13.
Alright, 2 light crossbow bolts. So you take 8 more points of damage
I'm still up.
Nice.
as they go
You're
thud,
looking
thud,
pretty
thud, thud.
I'm looking bloody.
Um,
Why are you picking on the old lady?
I'm the one
She
making
was the
the
last person that stood in the doorway.
because
Just
unlike
standing in
other
the doorway.
mercenaries, they don't care. This one turns around and attacks the guy who's after him. He's got 2 attacks, misses with the second one, so they're just trading blows out here. This one rushes inside, kind of takes stock of what's going on, and is trying to decide which way to go, and just rushes over this way. These guys just come in a line over here, and as they approach, they pull out light crossbows, and they all fire into these guys, and 2 of these guys go down. Then these zombies just run. Those guys here, this gun keeps attacking over there. These guys just kill each other. They're like dying. He's like reaches out and tearing out the eyes of the mercenary as the mercenary's just stabbing his dagger up repeatedly, and they fall down. Obviously you can see what's going on here because Buddy's just there. You tell me if Buddy's going to change his position at all. These mercenaries have formed the line over here, and they just rush up. These 3 zombies just launch into them, and they all focus on this guy and just manage to tear him down and start cutting him into pieces. And then suddenly, again, the shadows creep underneath the floorboards. It comes up here and just takes this guy's head and drags it back down into the shadows. And he's like, Dretch is like, fuck! Let's get the hell out of here! He screams. Alright. At this point, wall of fire disappears. And I need everyone over here to make a wisdom perception roll. That's
Perception roll?
yep, it's the perception roll.
Perception roll. We have still +2 perception.
No, that's one gone.
No, that's gone.
Is it?
No, because we haven't even had a short rest.
You haven't even had a short rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Ah.
you guys are still got your heightened perception.
16.
20.
22.
Nope.
Well,
Oh wait, actually more than that.
16.
Did anyone get higher than 20?
Yes.
22.
So, the people who got the highest perception both need to make wisdom saving throws.
When you're a winner and a loser. Natural 1.
That's cruel.
10.
Okay, so you both see these footprints in the snow moving across that way. But then you both feel that what you really should do right now is go inside and tell Dretch what you think of him on behalf of you and your friends.
I'm putting it out there. It's really not a stretch.
I would do that too.
Yeah. It's not unreasonable, but
It's
you
not.
are in fact compelled in this instance to do that in your next action. Alright, so that brings us to the start of the round again.
I'm going to go and talk to Dretch with my shillelagh.
Awesome. So you just climb up here, you push past Lynn. You
Get out of the
go
way.
through.
I've got words.
You walk into the room, and you walk straight up to Dretch.
And I say, "This is for the circle," and then I clop him in the head. As I get within 10 feet of him, he has to make a Constitution saving throw of 14.
It's a natural 20.
They just don't like your little fungus spores.
That's a...
That be his friends around him who have to make that saving throw too.
Oh no, it's just 3 actions. So
It's a
that's
single
one of them.
target.
That's a 16 armor class.
Against Dretch?
Yes.
Not quite.
Well, I smack my shillelagh into the floor or his shield and grumble at him.
Swings past, slams into the ground. His eyes are wide and wild. He's got a knife in one hand, and he's carrying a greatsword over his shoulder, previously wielding it like one-handed. He just throws the knife aside and is like, "Yeah, come get some."
I will, buddy.
All right, Brennan.
Now, I did not notice footsteps coming in any direction. I will step up and share the space with the old woman.
Yep.
I can basically stand between her legs with my halfling small size.
You hide beneath her skirts.
Yes. And from there, I
Peek up around through the doorway.
I'm going to toll of the dead Dretch.
Okay.
I'm going to say the bad word.
And what's his difficulty?
It'll be DC 12, I believe. Or the-
Passes.
Yeah.
And that's 0 damage, yes.
Then you go hide.
Are you done?
I am done for now. Yes.
Lynn.
I feel the need to help Gus get his revenge. So I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on Dretch, hoping that he will fail, have to move away, provoking an attack of opportunity.
Is this This is not a. Keep in mind, I got my divine port. So when there's something we really need them to say to fail.
Well, if he fails, he'll be
block
taking
it.
4d6 and moving away on an attack of opportunity.
46.
All right.
Up to you.
How's Dretch looking?
Well, he just had 2 healing potions.
Pop 2 healing potions.
So he took a little bit of damage since then, but he looks kind of okay. His clothes are kind of torn, but his armor is kind of still intact.
I'm angry, but I'm more worried about the other thing.
We've obviously got a big beastie thing. Let's keep it in the pocket.
Okay, so roll his wisdom save.
Do it on your own steam.
What's the DC?
13.
Fails.
Beautiful. So he's going to be taking a whole 13 psychic damage, and he has to move away from Gus, provoking an attack of opportunity.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he takes us to his. I know he's it looks like he's trying to justify it as taking a defensive position.
I don't know if this is happening.
No.
I'm like, yeah, and he's like, maybe not. Let's give him a whack. Oh, that's another 16.
All right, cool. Not quite. He goes, "Yeah, you'll try it. We've seen it before. The bastard druids last time they fought, but now we're better at killing you.
Then where are
Means
you
we'll
going?
get more gold for the job next time." He says as he backs away.
Where are you going, buddy?
There's a full move, he's got to move.
He's just walking away. You take your swing, you miss. Bernard, are you taking movement action?
I sort of moved up to between her legs, so.
Okay, sorry, that was Lynn, of course. Are you taking movement action?
I'm just gonna step away from the door.
Okay, cool. Spear.
Well, I'm gonna have to storm in and tell him what I think.
Cool. That gets you to about here, unless you want to take a double action. What's that? That's 20.
We tell him what
I
we
don't
think
want
with
to
the
take
double
You
double
can get to
action,
there,
but-
and then you'll be within range of. You'll be within 5 feet of that mage.
Okay. And I guess I yell at him. I didn't even think you were fearsome at all.
Over the mage. All right, so you guys have both completed your obligations, and now in your heads you're like, "Oh, we
Why
saw
did I
those
do that?
footprints." Now you remember. You like, "Oh wait, I saw footprints."
Yeah.
Heading towards where Saya was.
And then I'm gonna take a swing with my sword at the young mage there.
Yeah, cool. The young lithe mage with the open back armor. You'll have to take a look at the miniature later to appreciate its glory.
And I have 18 plus 5, so...
Oh yeah, you slam it in.
Yeah, cool. So take a swing at him with my big sword, which has a 1d6.
So I'm just going to assume that you accidentally took a short sword instead of a long
Oh, I
sword.
did, yeah.
Yep, and you're doing 1d8 damage.
Okay, cool. Excellent. I've been misrolling this whole time. Oh, well, I did less damage now, so thank you for
I'm
that.
sorry.
So I did 4 damage?
He'd already taken a bunch of wounds, so you're doing lethal or non-lethal damage?
Oh, wow, I get to decide that now.
No, it's fine. You can do the lethal
I
damage.
feel like I've already made that decision.
Okay.
Next
You
one.
slash down. It goes like through
goes,
his
like,
coat.
right-
The blood sort of rolls down and gurgles. He falls forwards, and you see the droplets just dripping elegantly down the back of his open.
That sexy
His open
build.
armor.
It's a work of art.
At least he died pretty.
What a waste.
Nariko, are you gonna? That's the end of your basic movement. Do you have any other actions, or is that it? You've already.
No, that's it. I'll stay
Nariko.
well amongst it.
So how far into the building can I get? Everyone seems to have some running,
You can just get past. If you make an athletics roll, it'll let you get 5 feet in.
Yeah, rolls don't go well for me these days. No, they certainly don't.
Alright, so you scamble up, you sort of like slip on the rocks, and you end up just outside, about here.
Can I see anybody?
Not from this angle, no, because it's just the doorway is here, so that's about the best you can do.
Well, I guess I'll just... I don't know. Does anyone look particularly dirty in front of me?
Yeah,
dirty?
the halfling is taking a bit of
I
dirt.
use prestidigitation to clean them.
You feel clean and warm, like all of your clothes have suddenly been pressed and dried.
Mid-battle laundry. This is a first for me.
And it is in fact Saya.
I'm gonna stand in that doorway and keep my spiritual weapon near me.
Awesome. Yeah, and so you lose the held spell?
Yep.
Alright, cool.
And I'm gonna hold my action to cast a cantrip if anything shady happens. If I see anything like kind of pop up or whatever.
See any shadows.
Yeah.
Alright.
Literal shades appear.
Give me a wisdom perception roll.
Yeah. That would be 16.
Cool. So what you do see is the shadows rise up behind you.
Oh no.
The fire, does it go out if people smother it? The fire burns
Break your
creature.
damage, man.
It seems to find the flames negligible. Doesn't like them, but you know. And swings at you. That's definitely a hit.
I mean, come at me.
I
I'm
mean,
untouchable.
that's your armor class. Is your armor class
It is.
higher than 19?
Slightly touchable.
So you take, as the head sort of leers around your shoulder, and sort of these eyes pierce into your soul, and you take 8 points of psychic damage.
Cool. Do I get, because I think that's like the definition of something shady. Can I... Can I attack it?
Yes.
Awesome.
If it hadn't come at you from behind, it wouldn't have been so shady.
A little closer.
Toll of the Dead.
And that's the D12 because technically it's damaged by the fire.
Oh yeah, it has been technically damaged. Oh, let's see if I can hit it first.
It's a wisdom save.
Oh, it is a wisdom save. It needs to do a wisdom save of 13.
How wise is this dog? How... It rolled natural 13, it has +1, it is fine.
Wise enough,
Um,
not wise enough to not tread in fires, but wise enough not to be perturbed by your bell.
Alright, that's fine.
Awesome. Alright, and then you feel suddenly a strong shove from behind, as if somebody's just pushed you. And you fall, slam against the wall, and kind of slump a little bit. The shadow demon sinks back in through the floor, and you see Ivan run past you.
Oh, fuck you, Ivan.
Jumps the bonfire, goes, ah!
Hey, the bonfire did something.
and then ducks through this doorway and into the underground chamber. And we are back to the top. Hold on, no. These monsters, they're just swinging at the mercenaries. They don't manage to do any damage. These mercenaries, so seeing you guys coming in, these four just fight against the zombies. They manage to take down one more. And then these ones, wanting to support Dretch, they all rush in. That one's not quite going to be able to make it. This one's coming over from here. But this one, they take defensive positions around Dretch. He sort of pulls out a hand crossbow, shoots it over its spear, missing. These two are drawing melee weapons, so shields and axes. And this one comes in and attacks you. What's your armor class at the moment?
Did he just move into my area?
Yes, she did just move into your area.
That'll be a DC save of 14.
Nope.
Oh my god, that's 100. 5, 6, 7. So as they walk in, the spores just manifest themselves
Yep.
for 8 damage.
Okay.
Oh, 7 damage.
Still pushes through the spores and swings, quite blinded by them apparently, just like swinging in the air, doing no damage to you with either of their two attacks.
Two attack, bro.
Yeah.
You gotta go.
Yes, and Dretch has shot. These guys fight back to the top of the round. So it's you.
So they're blocking my way to Dretch.
These three, yes, they're forming a line.
Cowardly. Just so cowardly. Didn't particularly want to do this, but fine. I'm gonna scream, "Don't you run away from me," as I thunder away from you.
Oh, of course, yes. So that's gonna hit all of them. Fails back 10 feet. Fails back 10 feet into Dretch. Passes. They still take damage if they pass. Yes. And Dretch himself. So 3 of them take full damage. 1 of them takes half damage.
First one takes 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 thunder damage.
8. Yep. Cool. Still standing.
Next one, the full is 6 thunder damage.
Okay. How much did you do with the spores again?
7.
Cool. Falls to the ground. The thunders like blast them. Dretch just instinctively pushes them out of the way, and you hear a thickening crack as their neck lands on the ground in an awkward way. They stop moving.
Next one for full damage.
This is Dretch. No, Dretch passed. So these two.
Thought Dretch was one.
Yes.
One was the one in front of Dretch.
So
Yes, another full one or
4.
you're rolling damage for each. 14.
14 points of damage. Yeah, just already having taken some damage. He sort of reaches out to the ground to try and grab a rock from the fireplace. It just like spurns his hand. He's like, and falls backwards, and the ill-placed nail sticking out from a plank just goes up into his medulla oblongata.
An unfortunate way to go. Quick though.
Yeah, it's blackness and nothing.
Alright, so the Dretch is 5.
This is the last one, and it's Dretch.
Oh, so 11, but half damage.
Okay, Dretch takes 5 points of damage. It's like,
Don't run away from me. And I'm going to make my way up to him. And he gets to make a constitution saving throw.
Can you do that more than once around?
No, it's a new round though, isn't it?
No.
Okay.
Unless you somehow
I thought they went last in the round.
Oh yes,
then
no,
I'm
they
top
did,
of the
and then
round.
it's beginning of the round. So yes, of course. So Constitution saving throw, 5.
Well, back at it, I guess.
All right, Bernard.
From the doorway, I call out to Gus, and who else is in there? Spear.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, Sari's in the hellhole house and I think she needs help. And then I cast my second level web spell, a 20 by 20 by 20 foot cube,
Yep.
webbing as many as possible.
Over on the...
I want to try and catch a big cube, basically, of all of them.
You can get all of them if you don't get Dretch.
I can get all of them if I don't get Dretch.
Good sacrifice.
Fine.
Or you could get Dretch and 3 others.
Now, I'll get all if I can't get Dretch, since Gus is probably going to want to finish Dretch anyway, I realise that.
Alright, well they're all... Big spooge goes out on this whole area here, and they're all...
They're restrained until they take a turn to make a strength check on DC 12, otherwise they're basically stuck there.
They are all restrained as the web just spooges out across the whole area. White, spindly lines arcing through the air. And are you done?
Having said that, and then cast that spell, I am actually going to then vault down and take my movement
Athletics roll.
towards speed.
Cool.
Athletics check is 3.
You see that the fire is wavering as you take 2 points of damage from spraining your ankle as you fall. That dastardly step.
Gosh, it's a doozy.
It's like 8 feet, you know. Well, no, it's about 6 feet. But that's enough. That's like almost twice your height.
Yeah, it's a 6 feet drops there, a significant chance of it. So, yeah, alright, that's what I meant.
Awesome.
On web might be concentration, which would end is, and it ends that time.
Lynn.
I'm going to stick my head in the door, yell at Dretch, you hooligans have no class! And then,
Okay, you're going to have to climb up.
I thought I was just down the stairs. I got shoved, but I was just shoved in the downwards of the stairs direction. Oh yes, I did move back, didn't I?
You moved up.
Okay, and that case I'll follow Saria.
Okay, cool. So you get to Saria. Make a perception roll.
Nat 20 plus 3.
Okay, so 2 things. First thing you see is you see the tail end of Ivan rushing down the stairs. You see him just like he turns the corner, and then you hear so he's sort of descending the stairs. And the second thing you see is you start to see the peaks of shadowy flame as they start rising up through this floor just behind Saya. So you can tell that the creature's about to come back up right there on that spot.
Can I grab Saria and pull her out of the way and take her with me?
Yep, are you gonna fight her?
I will willingly.
Alright, so you just move her to the other side of you. Cool. And that's your action.
Mm-hmm.
Spear.
Cool. So... I'm not really sure.
A web has just shot out
Yeah,
from this doorway
all
and is
those guys, and
spooging
it's
all
just
of these people. They're like, "Ugh," stuck and covered in
meanwhile,
this.
there seems to be a much more exciting thing happening over here.
Well, there's some commotion. Spear, Saya hasn't said anything, but and you can't see what's going on outside, but you see all your friends have left outside. The only thing that you can see is a faint radiant light that you recognize as distinctly Noriko at the side door.
Distinctly Noriko.
That radiating red energy.
And it's just what's his face left, what's his name?
Dretch is here. These guys are all alive. They're just kind of caught in the web.
Okay, I will take a swing at Dretch.
Run up.
Yep.
Cool.
Long sword in hand. Shield out.
Yep.
It's 18. So
That hits.
Yeah. Cool. This one. 6 damage.
Slams you. He tries to block. He tries to bring up his sword just in time, but it gets in and thumps into his shoulder. And you hear like crack of a stress fracture in his armor and possibly his clavicle. And he's like grunts. Ah, you bastards! You're responsible for all of this. I'm so glad we took that job now. Nariko.
Right, okay. Well, how far can I make it into the building then?
30 feet. So it's 5, and then 25. You can't quite get to within melee range of Dretch, but you can get to the back of these guys.
Well, I'll just come to like this side. So they're all like restrained.
Yeah, these guys are all restrained.
Can I get closer to them?
Yeah, can get up to you. And then any of them you can attack with advantage if you want to.
Can I see Dretch?
From there, yes. So,
I'll try to shoot him. Actually, as a bonus action, I will Hexblade curse him. And then I will shoot him.
yeah, that's going to do extra damage.
If I hit. Doesn't like me. That's a whole 12.
Unfortunately, the shot flies wide. A bolt of energy just flies across the room, impacting on the far wall. Saya.
Can I make a perception test, seeing I've just been shoved out of the way?
Yeah, well, he appeared. As soon as
Okay,
he
so
was
he's
no
dead.
longer, as soon as he made that attack, he was visible again.
Okay, I was more... because I don't know the dog is coming up.
No, you don't, but you didn't roll a natural 20 for your perception, but you might.
Yeah.
Probably should have said something. but
With
oh well.
advantage, you can make a perception roll because Lynn is pointing it out.
18?
18, yeah, you look around and yeah, and see, indeed, you can see the licks of black shadow flame creeping up through the floorboards.
Alright, I'm gonna yell out, the puppy and Madman Ivan are this way, and then, I'm gonna... cut out, I can't send... Can I just send my... Can I send my pick blades into the building?
Yep.
Like 20 feet?
Yep.
Like as far back into that corridor?
Yep.
And then I'm going to hold my action to cast Hold the Deck. When
Awesome.
the puppy appears.
Yep, great. Cool. And with that, these two undead try and break free. They fail, still stuck in the thing. These mercenaries... this one tears his way out, and this one tears his way out. And comes over and goes, and just, you're a stinking bitch! And swings around with a sword at you, Nariko. Hits you, doing 7 points of damage.
Well, guess what I'm gonna do?
Fall down with unconscious.
Hellish Rebuke? I'm gonna Hellish Rebuke him.
Okay.
Oh, no, you didn't!
So the blade comes across, and then your eyes just blaze with radiant fire.
So that was 3 tempting points. Those are gone. Anyway, so what does it do? Damage you when transformed by hellish flames. Creature must make a dex saving throw.
No.
Well, let's see if I roll this one.
More of a heavenly rebuke here.
I'm pretty angry. I'll say
It's
that.
ambiguous rebuke.
Ambiguous, that's probably the best.
Metaphysically ambiguous
Wow,
rebuke.
that is so pitiful. That's a whole 3 fire damage.
Alright, cool. He just staggers back a few feet from the... Not expecting it.
It is a spell.
This one comes up to you and swings. What's your armor class at the moment, Spear?
18.
This is with both. And Dretch just reaches around, swings his...
Dretch have to keep running away from it?
Does he have to keep running away from you?
No, it's just he immediately has to take
Oh,
the
so
one.
one round.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Dretch swings his blade wide, seeing as your other person has been causing him so much hassle. I'm going to assume that a 24 hits you.
You would assume incorrectly that that would be a lie.
Does a 15 also hit you?
The 15 does not.
Well, that's good. He only does D10 plus 4 damage, so 8, 9, 10, 12 points of damage. The great sword.
So he hits me, and there's it connects,
Mhm.
and just kind of like, just fungus just peels off, and I am absolutely fine. Wow. You're in for a bad day, buddy.
So what's the effect that you're doing?
It's the temporary hit points that come off.
Oh,
the
okay, cool. So
sword.
these sort of, yeah. And he sort of looks at you and is like, you. Yep, that's him. he's not going to take a movement action. He is going to stay his ground. Actually, no. He is going to use for his bonus action, cunning action, and disengage, and run 30 feet.
Weak.
Coward.
Awesome, and runs over to there. At which point we go back to the top of the round.
I chase up. I do chase.
So
Hold on a
the
sec.
dog-
No, that's not true. It is the monster's
Oh, puppy.
puppy. So Poppy arises.
Aww.
Did I not manage to yank it far enough back?
I call it the Prince of Wolves. The Prince of Wolves.
Prince of Darkness.
Yeah. It doesn't bark. This is a silent barks. Just rises up through the floor. You guys have some bonus actions. Who has bonus actions?
Yes,
Or
I
also
have
held actions?
So I cast. So wisdom saving roll.
Passes.
Ooh, nothing happens.
That was it? Gus. Oh no, he rises up, looks straight at you.
I didn't manage to yank it far enough out of the way.
Oh yeah, you did. That's why it's going for you now. Is your armor class higher than 10?
Yeah.
It misses.
Yay!
It looks at you with its piercing eyes, eons of spite and darkness penetrating deep into your soul.
I look back with a similar sort of glare.
Your soul
Awesome.
has armor class 13.
Awesome. So Gus, that was you. Oh, and it does. This time, it does not disappear. It just stays there. It stands its ground.
Ooh. Fancy.
Gus.
I'm giving chase.
30 feet back, 30 feet forwards.
You got a little nub in there as well.
Oh yeah, he's coming down.
Advantage on attack on him.
That'll be a 17 to hit.
Just hits.
Right, so that will be 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Plus... Sorry.
Meaty.
11 damage plus... 13 damage and a constitution saving.
Fails.
Is that your first spore hit?
Second.
Second.
Second full hit.
So that's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 damage in total.
As he runs away from you, staggering towards the door, turns around to look back. Finish him.
So coming out, cracking with the shillelagh.
His teeth break, spraying out the side of his face, spattering with blood.
Carrying myself, I land on top of him, and the spores just pour off me and like into his head.
They start
Holding him
moving
there.
inside through his ears, piercing in through his eyes, up his nose. No, you did not declare that you were doing non-lethal damage.
But I'm hopeful for a one-word answer.
As he coughs, choking as the black spores fill his lungs and pop his eyeballs out as his face melts and he slumps to the ground with one last convulsion. Dead.
Come on, buddy.
You could have said, what? Didn't declare non-lethal damage. Yes, but Dretch is now dead.
We'll never know.
Good other buddy.
And Buddy comes down and dances on his grave. Bernard,
Yes.
these guys start looking around. These last 4 mercenaries, there's 5 mercenaries, they start like freaking out a bit, getting defensive. They've seen this happen to Dretch, and they're like,
No, I'm frankly glad I'm not witness.
but you're not
what's
there, you
going on in
can't
that
see any
room,
of this.
yeah.
That's right, yeah. You're
I'd be
over
disturbed
here.
with Gus.
The Prince of Wolves is before you.
Yeah, I'm going to Toll of the Dead. Say the hurting word. Sit, boy.
He's fine. He doesn't seem to respond to standard doggy orders.
Maybe he speaks German.
Could speak another language. Are you moving?
I'll say I move back slightly. Only 5 feet. Just to clear the way for other bigger people to step up closer.
True. Alright. And Lynn?
I'm just going to attempt to insult him, leaving me alone.
Oh yes, you stare down the face of the devil, you look back into the deepest, darkest pits of its soul, and you say,
Stand down, you simpering, snoutless sissy!
a natural one. It stops, and it staggers back a few paces, and through the stony veneer of the mask, you hear a small whimper.
4 psychic damage.
It takes some damage.
It's really touchy about its face.
Yeah.
Where's the mask?
Such a sensitive soul. Awesome. And Spear?
Oh, look,
Anything
since
else?
it's macked away, can I move away from that door without taking a tapping opportunity?
Yes.
I'd like to do that.
So how many of these guys do we have left in here?
There are 3 guys still trapped in the web, 2 zombies still trapped in the web, 1 guy who seems to be looking a bit cagey and freaking out in front of you with the barrel, and then the other guy is holding the torch up, who's also just, they're kind of backing away
Okay,
from
well,
you.
seeing how nervous they're looking, I think that Spear is going to kind of turn around in her full plate armor and kind of flourish her sword and say, "Surrender, or you will all die."
Persuasion roll.
Don't forget, you still have
Intimidation?
inspiration.
It's up to you.
I
Use
was gonna go
intimidation
for
if you prefer.
intimidation here,
Yeah. Can you still have inspiration? So add a d4 to that.
If you want to.
Oh.
You couldn't do this at any point.
I think it's a
Inspiration is
D6.
Yes, D6.
Oh, d6. There you go. Unless you roll lower than the d4.
It's the same. So, 14.
Right. The rotund man with the pot helm carrying the barrel drops his sword and is, yeah, look, we were never really that keen on Dretch anyway. He was a bit of an asshole. Yeah, well, things are a bit shit here, so you're not with the zombies, are you?
No?
Oh.
What about the rest of them?
No, boys, just get us out of this stinking web. Oh, fuck. This sucks.
Looks like we have some prisoners.
We can stick swords in their hands and send them into the dog mouth.
Yeah, so they seem like they all put their swords down and surrender. Shortly after this, if you guys are not pressing an attack,
I was going to on the
Yeah.
dog. Yeah. I'm gonna first of all use my bonus action to my swords on the on the puppy.
the pigs.
It probably misses, to be honest. That's 13 to hit.
It hits. I know how to
great.
hit. It's quite big.
So it takes 6 damage.
Okay.
But then I furiously cast Guiding Bolt.
Yep.
In my level 2.
You can hit that.
Oh, did it. That's not good. 11.
That misses.
Okay, then nothing happens.
All right.
That's okay. That was.
And
good.
in its turn, it just vanishes back into the floor. And we're stepping out of initiative order. These guys you guys make short work with these trapped zombies. They don't have the rot zombies. They seem to be a lot less robust than Spear, Saya, and Spear. You probably know had some experience with a regular zombie. They're much more robust. These guys, they kind of fall apart when you start hacking into them. You now have these guys who are willing to. Well, you have these guys. They are trapped. They have dropped their weapons, and they're kind of too afraid to run away into the wilderness around here. So what is it that you would like to do with your captives, guys? I'm assuming you all reconvene in the Great Hall. Yes.
I reckon we should go after Ivan. Like, he's gone down into the hellhole and he's probably doing something terrible. We should probably stop him.
Ask a few questions quickly. Just quickly.
First, don't we want to know what they were doing here and what the job was? And
Yep.
Yeah.
First thing.
What was the job?
Can you guys just walk with us to the hell house? We'll meet you outside, but our
Job? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Ivan, you mentioned a job.
That
You were hired to do a job here involving this area?
So you're talking to this nice man carrying the large barrel. It's like he seems an older friend. May have one day, once upon a time, been a friar of sorts. To say, look, I don't think any of these young guys remember. I don't think they were around then. Oh, a couple of them were, but I was there in the forest, right? The druids. You're one of them. I recognize you. I knew what to watch out for. We were approached by a man. He was one of you guys, actually. Looked much the same. Said he had some vengeance, but it's kind of strange. He said vengeance, but he was always really calm, really collected. Wore the same kind of outfit, same kind of abilities. Name of Strachan. Hired us. He knew exactly where everybody there was. He knew how to find them. He told us about all their weaknesses. He led the charge, and we, under his direction, hunted them all down and killed them off one by one. I mean, we wiped them all out. There wasn't a single one left by the time we finished.
I've got one more question. Two. One, did you bring that barrel with you?
Yeah, it's
Two, would you give it to me?
I'm kind of attached to it, but you can have some, as much as you want. He said, it's a nice brandy. Pops a cork out the side. Tilts it up.
I know this guy. He's been carrying that barrel around for like at least 12 months.
I just have like an entire goblet of brandy, and then go plop by it. No, I neck it, and then I go for one more.
Yeah.
And then I go,
you guys
sit by a fire.
And he's like, if it's, he just looks down and looks guilty and looks at the carnage around him in the hall, all the dead bodies. You don't, that's all. Okay, anything else you guys want to ask them? Or talk to them about?
Do you know the whereabouts of the Strachan fellow?
No, this was a couple of years ago now.
was quite a
He hired us for this one-off job. It's quite a coincidence that we survived the battle. I don't think it's coincidence. I think we're just good at our jobs, just not dying. And I don't think there were very many ways we could have gone. We were heading south. We were lucky enough to know about this town.
I don't know about
What
this.
will you do with us?
I think we should lock them up somewhere safe.
Or, like, the winter is here. And I know they're not amazing. The White Hawks have never been friendly. But not all the White Hawks can be that bad.
Can I just say that, like, they're Daggerford regulars now, and when they disobey an order, you execute them a la Battlefield, but until then, they've got a chance to toe the line, right?
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
don't give a
None of
shit.
us want to kill them. We just.
Hey, look, we work for coin. You can offer, we'll...
We do have coin.
We do have coin.
I mean, we also know that they knew of the ambush of the orcs and did nothing about it. Do we trust letting them loose behind us if we're going to face this other evil?
Look, are you having a private conversation? Is this a private conversation? Are you talking in front of them?
No.
Hey, look, hey, it was obvious there was something going on. They charged off into the hills. It was never part of the plan. What could we do in that moment? Just stop them? You were there. You saw it. They just ran off. Everyone, all the young nobles leading the charge, thinking the battle was won.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Dumb.
Let's put that on Dretch. You guys are alright, right? You guys are cool, you remember me?
Yeah,
Hey, witch kicked. Hey, yeah.
Yes,
buddy.
Hey.
Sorry for kicking you all those times.
Don't worry, we'll sort it out later, big fella.
Yeah, now look, yeah, Bernard, look, I never meant, I'm just doing it because everyone else was. It was the style of the times,
Yeah.
We saved you from the orcs, remember?
I'm totally down with culture and times, and I punch him in the nuts. Buddy, it's just a joke, buddy. It's just a joke.
Yeah, real funny. He says and looks up at Spear.
Alright, I'm done. I'll walk off. Join you at the fire.
Well, welcome to the Daggerford Irregulars.
Yep, proud to be of service.
We've got one job, but then you'll be paid after that job.
Pass it around.
You laugh it, yeah. If you lost the job. But for now, I think we all need I want to have a sleep, to be honest. Feeling pretty tired. I'm feeling a little hurt.
I mean, so am I, but I'm worried about what Ivan's doing in the hellhole.
I'm worried about dying more.
She does speak sense.
Or at least, maybe set up camp outside the hellhole and keep somebody watching the door.
Yep.
Alright, so you guys want to, set up camp inside the house?
Yep.
Alright.
Is it warm in there?
Yeah,
Hellishly
quite.
warm?
Hellishly warm.
Alright.
I'll take first watch.
I'll go second.
We have enough
Myself
people to
look
have
at
two
you.
people watching at once, right? Can we have somebody watching the front door and one person watching the hole?
They can help us with watch, right?
If you want, yeah.
You leave the barrel.
Sure, it's here.
No, leave it with me.
You want to carry my barrel?
It's gonna be... I want to lighten your load.
Oh, it's kind of a part of me, I'll just sit next to you.
I know what it feels like.
You
to
can
lose a
just
part of yourself.
help yourself as much as you want. Seriously. Pours you another. He happily just sorts you out. Alright, so you make camp.
I've got
You set
a little
watches.
sponge, which I dip in it. I just put it over Buddy so we can get it.
Alright, cool. You guys set watch. An eerie silence falls over the town. For the first time since you've arrived, the activity of people getting about, doing their business, it's all gone. The moon rises high in the sky, the clouds still parted from the original time that you summoned the divine energy in to turn the undead, and now it sits there, great watchful eye guiding your sleep.
Thank you for watching the latest installment of Tabletop Dynasties, The Platinum Mask. Stay tuned for future installments of this exciting story. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ding the bell button to stay abreast of all future installments of The Platinum Mask. Only on Tabletop Dynasties.